Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday morning. It's Tony Kurre here on Tony Kurre Radio. We do this Facebook Live thing every single morning. Just kind of go through a couple things that I find are very, very interesting. I had several people reach out to me yesterday to ask about the Calvin Ridley situation, the former Alabama football player, in this gambling situation. He has been suspended for an entire year. Was supposed to make $11.1 million this year. He will not make that. And of course, you'll also remember he played limitedly last year because he had what he's called some mental health issues. He was trying to be the best version of himself, and he decided to step away from football, and he was coming back to play in 2022 in the National Football League, and again at $11.1 million. So we come to find out, and listen, I'll be real straight up honest with you. I'm a gambler. I used to go to Vegas with my dad and like 9 other guys. Did it for like 10 years. Then went to Biloxi for 4 or 5 years. I love to gamble. I love to play blackjack. I love to put action on football games, basketball games, whatever. I had a bet on the UAB basketball game the other night. Love to play around a little bit. Had I never gambled a day in my life, I'd probably be a millionaire. But I've enjoyed it, and I've tried to keep it in check. Used to be, when it first came to town, you'd have the guy that you got on the phone with, you'd run out to Home Depot, make your phone calls, come back so no one in the house knew what you're doing. And then, of course, you meet him every Monday or Tuesday at some restaurant somewhere, and you pay him off or he pay you off. And you know what I'm talking about. Now it's become increasingly more easy, obviously, because there are 30 states in the United States that allow some form of gambling. We know that, I don't know, it's like $700 billion or something like that, just in New York State alone since the beginning of the year have been bet. And it always scares me a little bit because whenever we start allowing temptation in our society, some people are going to fall off. If you put a whole box of Girl Scout Thin Mints on the table, you're going to eat more than you probably should. It's easy to sit there and say you can have 2, but if you leave the box, leave the room, they're going to be gone in about 15 minutes. It's the way it is. It's human culture. And it's not just in this country, but it's all humankind. Whenever we start to ease into things that are very tempting in life, and some people can handle it, some people can't. That's just the way it is. But we're not very good at things that aren't black or white, or right or wrong. And what I mean by that is, and I think this is one of the reasons we've had such a hell of a time with this pandemic, and because this mask thing, because if I have to wear a mask, or I'm being told I need to wear a mask, and across the street they don't have to wear a mask, I'm like, well, why don't they have to wear a mask? And it's very confusing. We want to know yes or no, right or wrong. Yes, we want to know, do we have to do it or not? And so now we live in a society where like half the country you can smoke dope, half the country you can't smoke dope. Half the country CBD oil is healthy, half the country is not healthy. You can gamble over here, but you can't gamble over there. I can run over to Atlanta, get me lottery tickets, it's fine. I can win in Alabama, but I can't play the lottery in Alabama. I mean, it's just, and so we hate that. Tony Page, good morning to you. We hate that because I feel like if it's okay to smoke dope recreationally in Colorado, and I'm smoking recreationally here, but it's illegal because I'm taking, and I don't smoke. I've never really been a big dope smoker. I've gotten to some other things, but I never really. It just doesn't seem right. And so I also think that we're teaching our kids a lot of gray areas here. For example, if you're driving down the interstate here and it's 55 here, but it's 70 somewhere, well, they can drive 70 over there. So what's the problem driving 70 here? Well, it's because it's the law. It's the rules. Joseph Mark Burnett, good morning to you. So there's rules. And we don't like that. As humans, we don't like that. I don't like the fact that you can do something over there, but I can't do it over here. And if you can do it over there, but over here it's immoral and illegal, then is it really immoral or illegal? You good? All right. My kid's going to school. Love you, man. See you, buddy. Prime example, 17-year-old son. Going to school right now. Great kid. As a father, I've told him, there ain't nothing I haven't done. The only thing I haven't done is slept with a dude, and that'll never happen. I've always been willing to ride bulls, bungee jump. I've sat on billboards. I've done some crazy shit, and there's nothing that I have not done that he can't talk to me about. Now, as a 17-year-old, and I'm 56, I turned 56 yesterday, I may not be the one guy he wants to come talk to, but I'm a pretty cool dad. And I try to be pretty loose, positive, and have a good attitude about life to let him know that, listen, life is very difficult, it's challenging, but it's a lot of fun. So what kind of message is he being sent as a 17-year-old who can now go on DraftKings? There's 3 different gambling partners with the National Football League. And he's seeing this, and he's thinking, okay, well, this is no big Gary and Moon. Good morning to you, Gary. Thank you very much for the happy birthday wishes. What kind of messages are we sending to our kids? That, half the country you can smoke dope and it's okay. Well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is if you don't smoke dope now and you think it's okay and you start, it can open up a can of whoop ass on you later on in your life. It can. For some people, maybe not. And I'm not talking about medicinally. I'm not talking about anxiety issues. I'm just talking about recreational smoking dope. It's a very, very slippery slope is what I'm saying. I'm not saying we shouldn't have it. I'm not saying we shouldn't have gambling. I'm not saying we shouldn't have all these things that we should be able to enjoy. I know some people that go to Vegas 4 or 5 times a year. They've got the money to spend, and they're good to go. And they're not affected by it at all. They get back. They don't gamble on football games. They don't do it. But for a lot of us, the temptation is just too much. And next thing you know, you get on that slippery slope, and next thing you know, you're in a little more deeper than you want to be. I'm not even going to say it's a gateway thing. I don't really believe in gateway drugs and gateway things. So you start drinking beer, and then you're going to drink mixed drinks, and you're going to start smoking dope, and you're going to start doing coke, you're going to start doing heroin. I don't believe that. My point is, Calvin Ridley, who's a cat that's going to make $11 million last year. First of all, he said he placed a $1,500 parlay with the Falcons on this parlay to win a bet. That's bullshit. You never get caught the first time. When you get arrested for gambling, you get arrested for stealing, you get arrested for murder, you get arrested for something, it's never your first time. You don't ever get caught the first time. So for him to sit there and say that he's never gambled before, doesn't have a gambling issue, and that it was a one-time deal, I don't believe it. I don't believe it to save my life. I don't believe it. For the same reason, I don't believe Pete Rose only bet on his Reds to win. I didn't believe it. And I don't care that Calvin Ridley was off campus. I don't care that he wasn't playing. There's rules, okay? We have rules. I don't care who you are, where you're at, or what your neighbor's doing. We have rules. You're a national football player. You can't bet. There are signs up in locker rooms. They have classes every year. They do classes for rookies. They tell everybody, you can't gamble on NFL. You can't gamble on. You can't gamble at all. You just can't do it. And if gambling's that important to you, then stop playing football. Give up your $11 million, like Calvin Ridley just did. He's given up an $11 million contract because he made a $1,500 parlay on, first of all, the Atlanta Falcons to win. What the hell? I'll take that bet. Let me be your book when you get out of the National Football League. It doesn't make sense to me. My whole point is, very slippery slope we're living in right now. Because everything that was not, whether it's an immoral or illegal thing, as far as in gambling, and I'm lumping in marijuana smoke with it, all these different things that 10 or 15 years ago, hell, you couldn't gamble on UNLV basketball games in Las Vegas 10 years ago. You couldn't gamble on college basketball, a UNLV home game. Now, you could gamble on it if they were playing somewhere else, but even in Vegas, you weren't allowed to do that. Now, it's wide open. The National Football League, Major League Baseball, NHL, all these major league teams had nothing to do with Las Vegas because they didn't want to get too close to it. You know why? Because there was too much temptation. There was too much temptation there. And now the doors are open. Now you got the Combine there. You got the Pro Bowl there. You got a Super Bowl coming to Las Vegas. I mean, Las Vegas is open for business, and that's great if you have the discipline to not screw it up. Unfortunately for someone like Calvin Ridley, and I got news for you, Calvin Ridley ain't the only cat who's gambling on his football team to win in the National Football League. There's all these different parameters and different gambling areas, like sites or platforms that actually track your bets if you're in the National Football League to find out if you're actually gambling. It's just a real slippery slope. I hope he figures it out. He seems to be good. He's like, I'll take a year off. I'll come back. He's a hell of a wide receiver, but it's not a good look for the National Football League. And quite frankly, the National Football League is going to make about $300 million because their partnership with Caesars this year. It's all about the cash. It's all about the money. And for something 5 or 6 or 7 years ago to say, listen, you can't do this, and all of a sudden, well, gambling is a big part of the National Football League, but you can't gamble. Well, I could see where as a 25, 26, 27-year-old, or certainly a 17-year-old son, my son, every time he turns the TV on, you can win, Terry Bradshaw's money. I mean, what are we doing here? And it looks so easy. The worst thing can happen when you gamble, and again, I love to gamble. I like to do slot machines. I like to place bets on basketball games. March Madness is right around the corner. I can't wait. I'll do a basketball board, which is also gambling. You put $20 in a pot, and of course you do your whole March Madness bracket. It's all gambling. It's just a slippery slope. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. That's my get off my lawn moment for the day. Mickey Dolenz, the last live monkey. Is 77 today. Did anyone out there think, of all the bands we've had since the 60s, that the Monkees would be the first band where they just lost everybody in the band? It's kind of hard to believe. Mickey turns 77 today. Tim Wright, good morning to you, man. Thanks for watching. Also, today is a big Women's Day. Today is a day for women's rights and international peace. It's International Women's Day. It's Volunteers of America Day, and it's also National Breast Implant Awareness Day. Very important. Which brings me to my last and final story. Another TikTok hack has come up. I think this is great. So I've gotten up at 4 o'clock in the morning now for like 17, 18 years. Sometimes I stayed up till like 3:30 and just went straight to work, to be honest with you, when I was gambling. But I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I like to hear the birds sing. As I get a little older, it's a little bit more difficult, but I love getting up. I feel like I'm getting ahead of everybody. I can get some things done. I love it. I know a lot of people hate early morning people. I don't ever sleep in. On Saturdays, I get up even earlier. I watch some TV. It's my meditation time. I chill out before the kids get out of bed. It's great. But I do have some sleeping issues like most of us. For the most part, think about it. None of us can sleep, but we're all super tired. We all want to sleep when we ain't supposed to sleep, like at noon. So for like the last 14 years, I've taken a nap. I've always taken a nap because I get up at 4 o'clock. I work till about noon. I take a little nap. I get up. It's like having a second day. I love it. Well, now I'm getting to the point where as I take my naps are getting a little longer. It used to be a 45-minute nap. Now it's an hour and 45-minute nap, and now I can't sleep at night. So I'm always trying to figure out ways to get some extra sleep. So this hack came out. It's a very interesting story. This guy is called... the motivational doctor. Should be Dr. Josh Claypool is what it is. His name's Alan Mendel, a.k.a. the motivational doctor. Doc, he took a TikTok to reveal the unusual hack explaining that putting something cold between your breasts helps activate the vagus nerve, not the vagus nerve, the vagus nerve, V-A-G-U-S, which helps calm you down. So take an ice pack and put it between your boobs when you sleep. This will distress your body and send you off into a somber sleep. The writing of the over-the-top video explained ice between the breast puts you to sleep. He also advised wrapping the ice pack in a cloth, you think, to avoid any uncomfortable freeze burns and use for up to 15 minutes. Scotty Trucks, good morning to you, my brother. Good to see you, man. People quickly took the comment section to have their say on Dr. Mandel's suggestion. Basically what he's saying is by cooling down the torso part of your body, it instructs the vagus nerve to relax, and it's supposed to help you sleep. Someone said this helps my panic attacks and hot flashes 100%. Well, another one said, I just started doing this last week, and it works. Another person said, I've struggled getting to sleep since I was 12. Thank you. Another person said, I love sleeping cold. You ever notice, too, what the hell's going on with these cold mattresses? Man, I mean, Jim Green, good morning to you, Jim. What is going on with these mattresses? Man, I mean, we slept on like nasty mattresses. You know, the only time we changed our mattresses is when we flipped them over. We had them like 20, 30 years, and we always slept hot. We were fine, and now all of a sudden, every damn mattress is like and I'm telling you right now, I think I'm waking up because my mattress is too damn cold. I wake up, and you know, the old cold side of the pillow, I wake up, I'm freezing. Put an ice pack on my throat when I was nauseous. It works. Others insist they were less than convinced by the hack, and one right did it 3 nights in a row. Did not work. I'm going to try it tonight. Maybe I'll try it live on Facebook. Put an ice pack Cover it with cloth so you don't get freezer burn on your boobs. Put it between your breasts. I don't know how if you like duct tape it on there or you have to lay on your back, because if you lay on your side, it would fall off. If you put ice pack there, maybe you can put ice pack somewhere else if you don't talk about. We got a full week of great shows. It is Tuesday, which means Adapt or Perish is going to be going off later on this afternoon at noon and 8. It is Dr. Alex Hubline and Dr. Josh Claypo. This has been our most listened to show, certainly our best numbers over the last 3 or 4 months. We started this thing, we did it for a month, we did it for 2 months, now it's been on for 4 months. We're going into our 5th month. It's a fantastic show. It's about basically adapting in the business world or you die. And maybe it has gotten so many loyal listeners and a great ramp up of listenership because of what we went with through COVID, because people are looking for jobs, they're leaving jobs, they were resigning from jobs, they can't find jobs, the job market is crazy. So good job on Adapt or Perish. That show airs every Tuesday at noon and 8. Then on Wednesdays, we have Mission Minded with Michael Coleman, who's the Jimmy Hill Mission Executive Director. Great guy. It's a show that I co-host. That show airs at noon and 7 on Wednesday. Livewire Wednesday brought to you by Southern Precision Staffing for all your staffing needs, construction, otherwise. Fantastic. Kai Greger, a good friend of mine. Great partnership there. 205-682-2828, 205-682-2828. It's all AC/DC. We have over 45,000 people that listen in Sydney, Australia alone, where the fan club is. It's one of our most listened to shows, big time. It's all AC/DC. We'll do that tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Then on Thursday, Blues Almighty with Austin Hanks. I talked to Billy Gibbons on Friday. He called me up and said, man, how's your show going? I said, great. Billy Gibbons, of course, is good friends with Austin Hanks. Austin is in Billy's Big Bad Blues Band. He does this great show called Blues Almighty that airs at noon and 8 on Thursday, which is fantastic. It's a full hour of the blues. If you're one of those people, I don't ever hear blues anymore, listen to Tony Kurre Radio. Download the Tony Kurre Radio app. You get it at noon and 8 every Thursday. Then on Friday, When in Rome with Stuart Rome from the Woodhouse Day Spa, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Fantastic show. It's a hybrid show, which basically makes you look good, feel good, and sound good. He picks 6 songs. We talk about the betterment of your life from your head to your toe. It's a fantastic show. It's called When in Rome. That airs at 1 and 7 on Friday. And then the Damon Johnson Show. Damon Johnson just announced that Brother Kane is going back on the road. They're going to start in Milwaukee a little bit later on in April. Then they're going on in 2023 to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the first Brother Kane album. They're going full force in 2023. So happy for my brother from a different mother, Damon Johnson, for getting back together with the band. Some of the pieces have moved in and out, but I cannot wait to see Brother Kane play here in Birmingham. I'll be on stage bringing that show on. He'll also be playing some shows in his hometown of Nashville, Tennessee. But Brother Kane is back. But the Damon Johnson Show is a show that is heard around the country, around the world. It airs at noon and 8 on Friday right here on Tony Kurre Radio. Download the Tony Kurre Radio app. That's Kurre with a K, Tony Kurre Radio app. And you can listen to all these shows. We have 10 shows. You can listen to them whenever you want. And it's great. Denise Columbus, good morning to you, Denise. That's a fantastic show. Now, a lot of people say, I missed the show. I have to wait another week to hear it. No. Go to Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast and search Tony Kurre Radio. Again, Kurre, K-U-R-R-E, Tony Kurre Radio, and you can listen to over 100 podcasts. All of our shows are up on podcast on Spotify. Just search Tony Kurre Radio or the name of the show, The Damon Johnson Show. I tweeted it out this morning, as a matter of fact, the link, so you can listen to the shows whenever you want. You can binge, and the shows are great. We have business shows. We have a pet show called Dark Side of the Pooch with Dr. Rab Stewart from the Rossbridge Animal Hospital that airs on Mondays at noon and 8, which is a fantastic show. We do a whole segment called Mutt Mail, which is hilarious. We do that show. So all of our shows are up on Spotify. So go listen to our podcast. And again, download the Tony Kurre Radio app. That is Tony Kurre with a K. And it's free. If you don't like it, get rid of it. Every acknowledgement we got is a 5-star acknowledgement. It's been great. So check it out. And we're super proud of that. Thanks again for watching this morning. I'll be back again tomorrow. The Kurre and Claypo Show coming up on Thursday. We'll be on Fox 6 at 9:30 on Thursday. A ton of stuff going on here on Tony Kurre Radio. I love you. Bless you. Have a great day.